Picture this. Two pickup trucks in the same parking lot, parked just 40 feet apart. One guy's clocking in at 4:40 a.m. because he absolutely has to be there to make ends meet. The other guy, he's just there early because he wanted a fresh bagel. Here's the kicker. They both started in the exact same apprenticeship 31 years ago. They're basically the same age, and throughout their careers, they made practically the exact same income. So how does one end up with a boat and a stress-free Tuesday, while the other is still grinding away at 67 with a thermos older than his truck? If you ask the guy still grinding what went wrong, he'll tell you honestly, nothing. He didn't buy a yacht he couldn't afford, and he doesn't have a crazy gambling problem. He just said yes to 8 very ordinary things over the last 30 years. These are things everyone around him said yes to, and honestly, you've probably said yes to most of them too. Today, we're going to break down these 8 silent money traps. These aren't massive, life-ruining mistakes on the day you make them, but compounded over time, they are the exact reason you might be missing out on almost $1 million. Let's dive in. Trap number 1, the extended warranty, or as the salesperson loves to call it, peace of mind. You're at the electronics store buying an $1,100 laptop. The cashier asks if you want 2 years of protection for $240. There's a line behind you, you want to leave, so you say yes. What did you just buy? You didn't buy insurance, you bought a bet where the store has already run the odds. On average, only 20 to 40 cents of every dollar collected on these plans ever goes toward a repair. The rest is pure profit. In fact, on some sales floors, the warranty is the actual product, and the TV or laptop is just the bait to get you in the door. Next time you're at the counter, remember, you are renting certainty at a terrible price. Just say no. Trap number 2, unused subscriptions. Trap number 2 hits almost all of us, unused subscriptions. Think about a random Tuesday night. You finally sit down to clean up your bank app. You spot an $11.99 streaming service you haven't used in months. You click cancel, but the screen stops you. Are you sure? Here's 3 months half off. You get distracted, think, it's just $12, I'll do it this weekend, and close the laptop. You just got beat by a designed system. You got tired at the exact moment you needed to be stubborn. Studies show people underestimate their subscription spending by a massive factor of 2.5. You might guess you spend $86 a month, but in reality, your forgotten services are draining hundreds from you every year. Go audit your subscriptions right now and push all the way through those retention screens.
Trap number 3, overdraft fees. Number 3 is one of the most frustrating, overdraft fees. Last year, banks pulled over $12 billion out of consumer accounts in overdraft fees. Let's look at the math on a typical $35 overdraft fee. If you overdraw your account by $20 and pay the $35 fee 2 weeks later, that is an annualized interest rate of over 4,000%. Payday lenders would blush at those rates. Major banks are building billion-dollar revenue streams off your worst Thursdays. You need to view this as what it is, the most predatory microloan in existence. Set up alerts, opt out of overdraft protection, and don't let your bank penalize you for running low on cash. Trap number 4, lottery tickets. Number 4, the lottery. Now, if you occasionally buy a ticket for fun, you already know the odds are terrible. But let's look at the numbers. In states with lotteries, the average spend is $321 per person per year. Draw games only hand back about 50 to 60 cents on the dollar, and scratch-offs return 65 to 80 cents. To put that in perspective, a slot machine at a casino with free drinks is legally required to pay back 80 to 90%. Your state lottery is giving you worse odds than a Vegas casino. It's essentially a tax on hope collected from the people who can least afford it. Trap number 5, credit card interest. Trap number 5 is the most expensive money you will ever borrow, credit card interest. 45% of Americans carry a balance, and the average rate is hovering around 21%. Here is the mechanic they don't teach you in school. If you owe $10,000 at 20% interest and only make the minimum payments, it will take you 19 years to clear the debt, and it will cost you over $21,000 in interest alone. You will end up paying double for everything you bought. That minimum payment is not a favor to help you out. It is perfectly calibrated to keep you solvent enough to keep paying, but indebted enough to keep needing the bank. Trap number 6. Sports betting apps. If you have an app on your phone with your favorite team's logo on it, trap number 6 is for you. Last year, Americans wagered a staggering $119 billion on sports. The problem isn't just the money lost to the house. Studies show that for every dollar wagered on these apps, net investment into households' financial accounts drops by $2. The apps dress gambling up as investing, giving you candlestick charts and cash-out buttons that make quitting feel like discipline. It's a beautifully designed leak in your plumbing. Delete the app. Trap number 7. Hidden investment fees. Now for number 7. This one hurts the least, which is exactly why it costs you the most. Investment fees. You never see this money leave your checking account. Most actively managed funds fail to beat the basic S&P 500 over a 15-year period. Yet, many people are casually paying a 1% advisory fee. You might think, 1%, that's just a rounding error. But let's do the math. If you take two identical $1 million portfolios growing at 7% for 30 years, the one paying that 1% fee finishes over $660,000 behind. You don't just lose the 1% fee, you lose all the compound interest that 1% would have earned you over decades. Check your expense ratios today.
Trap number 8. The depreciation machine sitting in your driveway. The average new car payment is now over $770, and 1 in 5 people are paying over $1,000 a month. To make matters worse, people are stretching these loans out to 7 years. A new car sheds 60% of its value in the first 5 years. But the real trap is rolling negative equity into a new loan. People are walking into dealerships owing $7,000 on a trade-in that is essentially a ghost and rolling that debt into a brand new 7-year loan. If you take that $1,000 monthly car payment and instead invest it at 7% for 30 years, it turns into $1.2 million. You aren't failing to become a millionaire. You are just trading your wealth in monthly installments for cars you no longer own. Conclusion: the $1 million difference. Let's add it all up. Warranties, forgotten subscriptions, overdraft fees, credit card interest, high car payments. A totally average household can easily leak $10,000 a year doing these normal things. If you take that $10,000 a year and invest it for 30 years, it grows to almost $946,000. That is the exact distance between the 2 trucks in our parking lot. You didn't fail. You were just outspent by marketing teams whose entire business model relies on your default settings and your inattention. The fix isn't insane willpower. The fix is paying attention. Say no to the warranty. Cancel the subscription. Buy the 3-year-old car instead of brand new. You only have to make the right choice once, and it pays you back forever. Thanks for watching, and stay smart with your money.